My name is Gina Griffiths. I am very fortunate to work for the Sonoran Center and work alongside Rosa. Um, and I'm the Employment First Coordinator for Arizona, which means I go around and talk to people. I love it when I get to talk with young folks like y'all and talk about employment and what that can mean for the community, for you, for your life, for your family, and for your community. So I think I have the most fun job in the world. Um, and I'm excited to share it with you. So, what we're going to talk about real quickly, because I know we don't have a ton of time, is a little bit about me, and I want to know a little bit about you guys, what Employment First is, how powerful being employed can be for your lives and for your local communities. We're going to talk about you all and your strengths and how you choose how to move forward and to direct your life and your future. And I'm going to share some resources where you can find some help, and we're going to have a chance to answer questions, hopefully, if I go fast enough. And I'm going to warn you now, folks, I want this to be interactive. I'm going to need you guys to be participating in the chat and sharing information and answering questions because this isn't just about me talking. This is about you guys. That's really the whole point. So I would love it if in the chat you guys could each share your name and one job that you think would be interesting. Doesn't mean that you want to do it, just anything in life that you thought sounds like a cool job. I will go first. My name is Gina, and I've always thought it would be really cool to work in a bookstore because I love books. So it's important that when we choose what we want to do, we choose things that are important to us and matter to us. So I'm not seeing anything in the chat yet, and I'm hoping that y'all, okay, Rosa, crime scene investigator. I know Rosa, so that is an interesting job. I don't think I would like some of the yucky stuff that might come with it. Jimmy wants to own the first indigenous film studio. Oh my gosh, and I think you're gonna, and that'll be amazing for all of us. And maybe some of you on the call are gonna work there. Hopefully y'all are gonna join in. I'm gonna keep going through my slideshow because I don't wanna go long on time and keep you guys late. And there we go. So I wanna tell y'all what Employment First is, because I know that's kind of a weird concept. And in Employment First, it's an idea and it's believing that every person can work. All y'all, no matter what life has thrown at you that might make you think otherwise, everyone can work. And when we believe this, it creates possibility, it creates expectation, and it's important for all of us to promote this belief. We all need to support it. We all need to talk about it in our communities. It means that work is for everyone. We all have gifts. We all have talents. We all have ways that we can contribute to our communities. And when we build the right support system, every person can be successful in sharing those gifts with their communities. And when we say employment, that everyone can work, that means that it's meaningful. It's meaningful for you. It's based on your skills and your interests, that it's in the community, and that means not segregated, not off in a corner hidden away, but doing the work in the same place that everyone else does the same work. Employment is for fair pay, so minimum wage or above. Historically, people with disabilities have been paid less than minimum wage, and that is not cool. That is not okay. And that's not anything that we're going to promote. We want everyone to earn fair pay. So the same thing that everyone else earns for doing that same work. And when you pursue employment, it needs to be person-centered, based on you. You have a right to work. You have a right to pursue employment. No one can tell you you can't. And we expect that for all people. So I know the theme of today's conference is Learning our strengths, choosing our paths. We are our ancestors' future. Learning our strengths, choosing our paths. And that really ties in to the idea of employment and the power that comes when we all pursue employment. There are a lot of benefits when we work, right? I keep hitting the wrong things on my computer. We feel confidence and we feel pride when we know we've done something that's helping someone else, that's advancing in our community, and we know we've done our very best. We feel good about it. It just creates good feelings for us. That's important. We all deserve that. Working can create financial independence. That's the goal. There are a lot of different benefits that can help us when we're having a hard time working, but we make more money when we're earning money in the community for fair pay. And that lets you be more self-directed, make more choices for yourself, and make your future more meaningful for you. Employment is about building skills. We don't start a job and know how to do all the things in it most of the time. We know how to do a good part of it, but we have to learn as we go. And we're better off when we continue learning and building our skills. And then we can take on more challenging roles. The power of employment helps us with community connections. When you work in the community, you're contributing to a business, you're earning money, which makes the economics better for the community. You've got money to spend at other businesses. Everybody thrives. It doesn't just help you, it helps all your neighbors and everyone around you. That's part of the power. And the more we work now, the more opportunity we have later. Even if we try things that maybe aren't the right fit and we go on to something else, it all builds our skills and it helps us have more opportunities in the future. So your ancestors worked in ways that sustained your communities. You can continue that legacy by participating in employment and engaging in leadership in your community. And it's a very important piece of our cultural connection when we stay focused on how we're helping not just ourselves. We help ourselves a lot when we're working, but we help everyone around us as well. Our families, our neighbors, our local community, our bigger county, our tribe, our state, everyone benefits when we're contributing and earning our own money. So a big piece of this, and this is just for talking now, we're going to get into it where I want you to answer later, is that you have to discover your strengths. And that's, again, part of this conference theme, learning your strengths. What you do for work needs to be based on you. So just while I'm talking, think about what things are you good at? We're not all good at the same things. I'm not good at math. That's just not something I'm good at. So I'm never going to go into a job that would require me to do a lot of math, like doing a lot of inventory or being an accountant. I would be miserable and I wouldn't be good at those things. And it's okay. I know what I am good at. I'm good at talking to people. I'm good at doing these types of presentations. Usually, hopefully, you'll think so. So we all need to know what our strengths are and pursue work based on that. It's also based on what you enjoy. I don't like doing math, so I don't want to sit and do it all day. So I'm never going to do that job. That doesn't make sense. We all like different things. I'm currently at another event, and I've been talking with a lot of young folks that are job seekers, and some of them have these really amazing dreams to do things. Like someone was telling me how they really want to work in flowers and arranging floral bouquets. That's what they enjoy. I personally don't enjoy that, so I'm not going to pursue it. It needs to be about you. But it is important to notice what other people say you're good at. So your teachers, your family, the folks where you socialize, when they go, hey, you're really good at motivating all the little kids to clean up after themselves. Maybe some of you are good at that. Think about that and how that might translate in the future. We all have strengths. We recognize some of our own strengths, but we have to sometimes listen to what the people around us say to identify what some of our strengths are. And that is an important part of pursuing work. Another piece is to explore different career paths. There are a lot of different things that people can do. It's endless. It's almost anything. So here's a very few options. There are jobs in healthcare, and there are a lot of different types of jobs in healthcare. There are jobs related to technology, also something I'm not good at. And there are a lot of different types of jobs within technology. There's construction, there's arts and culture, poetry, singing, all sorts of different things you can pursue. Entrepreneurship is a really big word for starting your own business, figuring out what you want to make or create or what service you can provide to others, and being your own boss. That's a realistic possibility. There's jobs in tribal government or all the different types of government, if that's something you want to pursue, and jobs in community services, helping others. That's where my heart lies. That's why I'm a social worker. And again, you have to figure out what is the right fit for you. So there are a lot of resources where you can pursue learning about different industries to help you figure out what's going to be a good choice. So we don't have all the skills we need when we start. When I got my first job, I didn't have very many skills, but someone gave me a chance. So what are ways to build some skills? Obviously, education and training, school, just going to school. And then sometimes there's additional training programs that different folks in your life who are trying to help you might introduce you to other programs through tribal vocational rehabilitation, or maybe it's an informal training program. Maybe there's someone who does agriculture near you and they let you come and volunteer to teach you skills. Training can mean a lot of different things. So there's high school transition programs, there's formal job training programs, and again, there are informal ones as well. You can go to college if that's something you want to pursue, or there are a whole variety of vocational programs that can offer you opportunities to build your skills. There are apprenticeships, which are ways for you to learn a trade or a craft, oftentimes while earning money, and you're working with someone who's more experienced. So they're often, maybe it's about woodworking, maybe it's about plumbing, maybe it's about technology and working on computers. There are all sorts of different options for apprenticeships that are available. And there are mentorships. And this is important because that doesn't have to be formal. There may just be an elder or someone you look up to in your community who does something that you think is really kind of cool and interesting. So ask that person if they'll mentor you and teach you a few things. A lot of folks are willing to do that. Most of us want the younger people in our community to thrive, and we're more than happy to share our time. So always be mindful if there's someone you look up to, even if it's not specific for career, maybe it's just for kind of life and how we navigate it. Mentorship is a great opportunity, and there are formal mentorship programs as well. So, youth leadership and community. And I know sometimes it's hard to think when you're young like that you're a leader, but you are. When you take an active role in your community, in helping others, in being present and being visible, then folks start looking up to you. And that's how you become a leader. It's incredibly important. And again, you learn from your ancestors, and you focus on your strengths to choose how you move forward and how you become a leader in your community. And employment helps with those things. First of all, as we said, you earn money. We have a lot more options when we have a little bit of money to spend. And you build your skills, and the more skills you have, the more that benefits your community. A community thrives when its members have a variety of skills that they can contribute to the success of the community. All of that helps you to become a leader, and others will start to look up to you. And especially when someone has a disability and they're out there in the community being successful, you think about the message that sends to the little ones in that community who also have a disability. What you're showing them is it's possible to be successful. And if they don't see you doing it, how will they learn? It's all part of that circle where we're supporting each other. This makes your whole community stronger, as your ancestors worked for. And it really does build the whole future of your local community, your tribe, and everyone that you interact with. Your sphere is large and you influence a lot of people. It might not feel that way when you're young, but it's really true. Even as a youth leader, your impact is huge, and you have an opportunity to really help folks grow and thrive. And I want to point out that work isn't just having a job, a J-O-B. I had a boss who used to say that when you have a job, that's not a good thing because you're just over broke. You want a career. You want a path. That's your opportunity to contribute to your people and your community. Your first job does not need to be your career, so don't think your first job is where you're going to be forever and ever. It's not. We all travel through different paths before we get where we want to go, but we got to start somewhere. And sometimes we do a job and that teaches us that we don't really like it. We might think something's interesting, and when we try it out, we learn. So I know there are some things that make it hard. There are some challenges. Sometimes it's overwhelming to know where to start. We're going to talk a little bit about that. Transportation is a big barrier. We recognize that there are a lot of folks trying to make it better, and it's a tough challenge, but we're just going to keep working at it creatively. Sometimes we don't have confidence in ourselves. I'm hoping that this conversation might give you a little bit. That's one of my goals. And sometimes the people around us don't have confidence in us. I bet many of you have had the experience where you know you can do something and someone around you is telling you you can't. When you know you can, you just have to show people that they're wrong and you can succeed. It's hard sometimes to find opportunities, and there are folks to help with that, and we'll talk about it. So I know I was talking really fast because I have very limited time, but I still have a few minutes. So what I'm hoping for now, my friends, is a little bit of interaction from you guys. And you were a little quiet on my last question, so I'm hoping you're perking up. Maybe it's that after lunch sleepiness. I know that happens where we eat and we get a little sleepy, right? So hopefully you're perking up. Maybe you've had some sugar or caffeine, because I want you all to answer some of this in the chat. I'm really curious about your thoughts. So when we talk about choosing your own path, I keep hitting the wrong button. I think I want you all to at least think about, ideally share in the chat, a strength or a skill that you have. Maybe you're a good listener. Maybe you're a good storyteller. Maybe you're really good at cleaning things. That is not my strength. I do my best. And then I would like you to share it, ideally in the chat. I'm hoping that's my goal. I think you'll motivate each other if you start sharing these things. Oh, I think I went further than I meant to go. Let me see if I can go backwards. Oh, no, that was it. Okay. So I'm not seeing anything in the chat. I'm going to keep going, but I'm hoping that you're all thinking of your strengths and skills. Drawing. I see drawing being Agnes's strength, and I did not know that about you. That's good to know. It's nice when we share these things with each other. I hope you all are thinking about it, what your strengths are. Here's some more that I want you to think about. And it's all about choosing your own path. Cooking is a strength, and now I want to be your friend so you can cook for me. We do want to align our skills to the work we do. So I put on the slide one at a time to call out a skill. It'd be good if we just put that in the chat too, because I know we don't have a lot of time. Again, strengths and skills align, so we're still in the same place. I want you to be sharing your strengths and your skills. But now let's think what jobs use those skills. We can talk a little bit about what's been shared. Agnes shared that drawing is her strength. There are a lot of different things that involve someone having a strength of drawing. There's just creating art, obviously. That's huge. There's drawing for the purpose of creating advertisements, right? Everyone has advertisements. You guys see commercials for different entities. Sometimes that starts out from drawing. Someone sketches it out. You can create logos. Like if you look in the corner of my slide where the little state of Arizona outline is, someone created that for us. We paid someone to create that logo. That's how logos work. And you can do that through drawing. You could be an illustrator if there's an author and you draw the pictures for their book. You could be a sketch artist in a courtroom. These are all very different jobs. Eric mentioned cooking, and if people are cooking, they could work in a restaurant, they could be a personal chef, they could use that skill at home to support their family. There are a lot of different ways to use those skills. And Agnes shared that drawing helps her see things visually because she's a visual learner and she likes to use her hands and make things. So it's important that we recognize these types of things about ourselves, our strengths, and how they contribute to our success. I hope that you guys are at least thinking about what some of your strengths are and maybe how that could lead to a job. And there are more possibilities than we usually realize. A lot of times we get a very focused opinion that this one strength leads to this one job. But you have lots of strengths, and that combination of strengths can lead to all sorts of cool options. So it's figuring out what the right path is for you. So, and again, I want us to use the chat. I think it'd be fun if you guys would share jobs that you might like. Maybe you don't know. We don't know what jobs we might like. I've started jobs thinking I would like them and then not. I think everyone who's had a lot of job experience would tell you the same thing. We don't always know until we try things, but we want to try things out. So I want you to think about a job you might like and a skill that you already have that supports that job. You don't have to have every skill the job needs. Just think of one and then try to think of a step you could take to get that job and use your skill. So I'll go back to the beginning when I talked about I think it would be interesting to work in a bookstore. I've never worked in a bookstore or a library. I just really love books. And skills that I have that could support that. I have good customer service skills, so I could talk to the community. That's necessary if you work in retail usually. And I am good with letters, so I'd be okay like organizing the books in rows because I am good with the alphabet and all of that. So if I wanted to pursue that job, maybe I would go into a bookstore and talk to someone who works there. Maybe I could do some research online about what that might take, and see if my skills match, because there are a lot of great online resources. I see it in the chat. A job I might like as life coach with cultural appropriation. I'm a great listener and can be supportive for people in need. See, you're recognizing your skills and you're thinking about how that might be helpful in a future career that you think is interesting. So I think the next step would be you could do some research on the internet. What does it take to be a life coach? You could see if you know anyone in your community who's a life coach and have a conversation with them and start to explore that. When we really think about our own skills and how that translates into work, we want to give it thought. We don't want to just guess, and that helps us to choose our path based on our strengths, and that helps us to be successful. A dream job for me is to open up an Indigenous bookstore. I like to read, share knowledge about books and customer service. I know about managing a business, and I can manage the money. There we go. See, that's all of it. The dream job, the skills that go into it. So that's amazing. See, we could be neighbors and have all sorts of books in our bookstores. That would be awesome. You guys feel free, please keep sharing. I really hope you're at least thinking about these things because I'm going to get into a little bit of homework soon. So again, I've been telling you to think. Now this is goal setting. So if you're not comfortable sharing in the chat, I hope you have a piece of paper in front of you and you do this for yourself, just so you have it. I think you need to write down one job you might want. I'm almost out of time. I have to go fast. One skill that you want to learn that ties to that job that might help you. If it's retail, managing money is part of it. And if you're not good with money, maybe that's something you need to learn. You need to take a class. You need to work with a mentor. You need to volunteer somewhere where you can get that information. You build your skills towards your goals. And then identify more steps you can take to build those skills. And again, we're almost out of time. I want you all to write that down for yourself. Dana wants to learn sign language. Oh, that sounds cool. Yes, and not easy. Very challenging, but very useful. That contributes to your community greatly. That's a huge need. I don't really have time to talk about the job scenarios. I hope you guys get this PowerPoint so you can think about these things. If you start a new job and your supervisor gives you instructions that you don't understand, what do? You want to ask for clarity. It's okay to say, I don't understand, and ask for clarity. That will help you. And that's okay in the workplace to say, I need a little more information, please. I want to do it right, and I need to understand it. If your coworker tells you to do something different from what your supervisor tells you to do, what do? You do what your supervisor says. Just always, you should listen to your supervisor. I was hoping we'd have time to kind of chat about some of these, but a dream job is to get a GIS certificate to be able to work on mapping and creating adaptive mountain bike trails. Oh my gosh, that is amazing sounding. And I don't even know much about what goes into that, but it sounds fun. You're an adventure person. No, I love it. So where can you guys find help? That's important. Vocational rehabilitation. Arizona Vocational Rehabilitation is available. You all are able to apply for that, and hopefully you would be eligible for support. There's also tribal vocational rehabilitation, and there's a very common misconception that literally someone told me yesterday. People think you can only have one or the other, and it's not true. You can be receiving services from both at the same time. Their services are meant to complement each other. So if someone tells you that you can't have both, they are wrong, and you need to ask someone else. Your teachers and your counselors at school, they can help you find more resources within your local community. Every community has different resources. Your family members, they have a lot of experience. They've navigated these things. Your mentors in the community, and I think some of them are on this webinar today. Any job coaches that you might have through school or through any services, they will help you. And there are a lot of community programs. There are providers. I know there's not enough providers up on our tribal lands, and that's something we're working on. I'm seeing more conversation. Part of my educational journey is getting my sign language education certificate in college. Learning something of interest can also be skill building. Absolutely, 100%. And someone wants to learn sign language, and the resources there. See, when we share what we need, our community responds. That's part of why we want to have this conversation. That was just beautiful. And I think I'm over time, so I'm glad I'm at my final thoughts. My friends, your talents matter. The things you're good at have value and can contribute to your community. They can contribute to your personal success and the success in your community. Your community needs your leadership. You are the future. Our young people are the future, and we need you to be successful. That's why we're all here helping. Employment is necessary for you to help build the future you want, to define what your life will look like. And it can help you define what your community will look like. When you are successful, your community is successful. So I want you all to think about what your next steps are going to be for yourself. I don't really have any time for questions because I ran out of time. My contact information is here. And if we have any quick questions, I'm happy to answer them. Oh, my friends, thank you so much.